It's 6 o'clock. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And remember to turn your microphones on. Everybody turn your cell phones off, and we'll have roll call.
Mayor Schomburger.
Here.
Councilor Anderson.
Here.
Councilor Bain.
Here.
Councilor Baker.
Here.
Councilor Becker.
Here.
Councilor Dykes.
Here.
Councilor Quinlan.
Here.
Minutes. Everybody has a copy of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 8th, and Andrea has some corrections.
Yes, corrections are, City Attorney Robert Chapin was present at the December 18th meeting, and the heading on the finance report should be December 21st, 2017 to January 8th, 2018. And Councilor Anderson removed from committees should be placed in the council reports and not in the management item.
Are there any other corrections? Hearing none, they stand approved as corrected. Visitors and delegations. First on the list is the presentation by the Brush School District, Superintendent Bill Wilson.
Good evening. Thank you. Eager to be here. I'm here representing the Brush School District on behalf of the board and administration, and mostly just in an effort of clear communication, collaboration, and cooperation to make sure that although we've had a number of conversations from members within the city or other entities, that we are on pace with our building project, and that part of that piece is the raising of the middle school. And we want to make sure and let you know that we take the vote of the citizens very seriously, and that was on the ballot language that said that was our intent. We do have some flexibility within that language, we believe, that if there is a viable option to use some of those existing facilities, that we are open to those conversations and certainly want to be cooperative and assist in any way that we can, but that our intent at this time would be to level that facility in the summer, most likely the 19th, if things go like we think they will. So we're open to those conversations, but if we're going to have them, we need to start having them soon, because we'll put that out to bid probably as early as this summer, and there's no sense in wasting time, energy, and expense in doing so if we're not intending to do that. Plus, if we're going to change from the demolition or the raising of that facility, we need to get out ahead of that with our voters and make sure that they fully understand and agree that that would be the best move, and not just arbitrarily make a decision. So that's really all I wanted to do, is make sure that that was on record. It was very important to my board and administrators that we communicate that clearly. Happy to help however we can, but that's our intent. Questions?
When do you meet?
When do we meet?
Your school board?
Typically it'll be this month it's the 16th, so that would make it the third Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And it would be good to save some of those if we have a good use, but we'll see.
Yeah, we gotta have use.
Yep. Thank you. Next on the list is the Rio and Brittany Dome Sagebrush Microgreens.
How's everybody doing? Happy New Year. Is this on? This one advances it? Thank you all. Is this? Can you guys hear me?
There.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, my name is Rio. This is Brittany, and we both have grown up in Colorado, Denver and Boulder, and we have some ideas for what to do with this building that you see. Well, I guess let me go forward. This is a building in that we're discussing, and most of you know that this is the prison. It was originally in 1979. It was built as a juvenile facility, and then it was turned into a women's prison, and finally closed in 2010. And some of you here are familiar with the project and the different holds. Years ago, it was voted on, and the council voted 4-3 to not allow it to be a medical or a cannabis property, and that does seem kind of like the best use for it, but we're not even sold on that being the use for it. In fact, we have some other options that we just wanted to introduce you guys and kind of get your feedback and see what felt good to you. So we've come up with some different ideas on what to do with the building. So here's some of the ideas that could be done with no marijuana. We have a lot of interest in people that have sprouts, and it kind of goes with the homegrown happiness concept that you have here. Microgreens and sprouts are extremely healthy, and people all over, just all over the world want good quality sprouts. Warehousing is another possibility that people can store higher end things that need to be temperature controlled, or everything from data to files to personal belongings of value. And it being that it was a prison, it helps kind of with the idea of keeping your stuff safe in there. So that could be a great. We also would like to possibly utilize the kitchen, because it does have an industrial kitchen, and it's all up to code and spec and everything. So we could do a farm-to-table restaurant if we were growing some of the food on site and using some of the local agriculture, using some of the bovine, the great meat that's raised here, and tying that in and having it be a community. So the sprouts could be shipped out all over the country, but it could still be a farm-to-table restaurant. And excuse me, we were very excited about it actually, and we loved the idea of repurposing something that is basically just taking up a lot of space in your beautiful city. Yeah, and so I just really wanted to introduce ourselves and tell you what we're hoping to do. And any ideas are welcome. You can have our email address and everything is with Andrea. So yeah, and at this time, if you have any questions, or Brittany, would you like to say anything?
Yeah,
Oh, we have pictures. Yeah.
well, just that, this is just the start. It seems like a great opportunity. This building is high tech. It's a tornado, resistant building. It's up, and it would take a lot to tear it down, So the story of turning it from a prison to a growing garden, or potentially something else, is really inspiring. I think that's the more reason why Rio and myself got excited about the opportunity that presented itself. So we did just have a quick list. This is not really a full spectrum. It's more of just a rough draft, just our initial concepts. But coming here and seeing the town, this is a very popular city council, and we see how many people are here. So to
It's
that
normally not this
degree,
many.
The prison, not being used. The prison not being used seems like a big waste of space. So yeah, of course we come to Brush. This is your town, so I'm sure you guys have all had interesting ideas for the prison potentially, what it could be used for. So, the most lucrative and possibly the most profitable, even for the city of Brush, or just in general, could be a medical cannabis nursery. This was sort of our first idea for it, but it doesn't we're probably running out of time. But either way, we were thinking along the lines of hydroponics, or, you know, obviously microgreens are a very popular, organic permaculture at this time, so we were also thinking in that direction. And then on the other spectrum, because it is such a large space, warehousing could be also a really good use for it, depending, I mean, we are kind of in the middle, we are, you know, Brush is really located in an ideal location for it to be a straight shot for anyone to use it for storage.
Denver, straight shot.
Right. And so, whether it's business or commercial storage, or even the concept of private storage for, you know, automobiles or any other types of high-end, you know, personal storage could be of use as well. So, that's, why we're here today, just to get a gauge, of the city, and if anyone else had any ideas as well, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And we'll be in touch, obviously, and we'll get going on things. Thank you. All right. So now, visitors and delegations. If anybody else wants to get up and talk, now is the time. When you get up, state your name and your address, and there's a sheet on the table, and write your name and address down on the sheet too. And there's a 3-minute time limit on it, but now would be the time.
Bob Pennington.
Can you talk
Go ahead.
into the microphone, please? Thank you.
Bob Pennington. Just in brief, I want to say thank you for voting down that pile of wood. And I do mean it. Both speaking for myself, the neighbors, south of town, south side of town, and outside the city. Do appreciate it. I want you to know that. Thanks for listening to us.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chuck Miller, 26060 Morgan County Road S. There's two of you that I don't know whether you're thankful or sad, but you're stepping down tonight, and I just personally, I've challenged you pretty tremendously in the last 2 years, and I hope it's all been for the good. And I want to thank you for your time, and best of luck to you, and best of luck to the new board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Jeanette Corbin, 16200 Morgan County Road, 28.5 Brush, Colorado. I'm actually bringing a letter that my aunt, Deanna Mose, wrote that she wanted me to read. She's at 719 Ellsworth in Brush. She can't be here tonight because she doesn't feel well, but she wanted to say a few things to one of the incoming incumbents that have been elected on Ward 3. This is directed to Janine. I'm sorry that you have a personal problem with the Brush Police Department as well as the city. I am sure that most of us in this room has had a problem with one or the other at some time in our lives. Because that is life, and we don't always agree with everything that is decided upon, and that's why we have a council. When you took the job as a council member, you were to put aside your personal feelings and take on concerns of the Brush as a city as whole for the citizens for which you were elected. You were put into this office to make decisions for the good of the community. Not just for one person or even a group of people, but the whole town. It is a big responsibility and one that should be not taken lightly, as the people who put you in that office are depending on you to be their spokesperson for the duration of your office. I feel at this time you're not able to handle this job to the best of your ability because of your personal feelings, so I'm asking you, for the welfare of the city, to resign. I feel it would be the best thing for the city and for your welfare also. It is very hard to work up to your standards when you are having personal problems, and I am sure that you would want to do your very best for the city of Brush, or you would not have run for the office to do so. If there's a dissension among its members, you need to think of the people who elected you and resign at this time so the council can get to the business at hand without the interruption of personal problems. Thank you, Deanna Mose. And I'm also, in agreement to some of the statements that my aunt has said. I feel that Janine should step down and resign. I'm not in the ward, but every one of you sitting on this council, your decisions affect me and everyone here, and you all need to work together. And statements like F the cops do not set well with, I'm sure, everybody sitting here. And you gotta stop and think of a Zachary Parrish when you say these kinds of things. Personal experience, you're not a kind person. I don't know, have you ever said thank you to Andrea Strand for any of the things that she's done for you, that you've come in and asked for? Have you ever said anything nice and kind to any of these people sitting here, or any of these people here? I think you have an agenda, and I think that you have problems, and your problems shouldn't affect the people of our community. You need to take care of them and not make yourself a victim and blame everybody else. You need to treat people with kindness and respect, and have a smile on your face every once in a while and say thank you. So I am standing here and I'm asking for your resignation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ed Lundstrom, 1060 Edmund Street. I'm going to change the subject here. Edmonds has been a problem for a while with speed. A lot of speeding vehicles, especially our high school kids. It's sitting there on Edmonds, staring right up there. I see it all the time. I can tell you exactly what time it's 7:30. I can tell you when it's 11:30. I can tell you when it's 3 o'clock, because they're all flying down the street about that time. I can tell you some of the people that are doing it and where they live, on Edmonds and other places. And it's been a problem for a while. People have complained about it. I've talked to the police about it. I've been told something's being done about it, but I don't see anything. And I don't see anybody around during the times when we know the kids are speeding. It's not just the kids, it's people coming out of work and going to work too. But I think because it's straight shot from Hospital Road to Ray Street, they feel it's easier for them to take that whatever way they want to do instead of going out Edison and risk getting caught or anything else. And we get a lot of traffic on Edmonds. And I watch kids on skateboards, I watch them on bicycles, I watch women right there by Daniels. They walk across the street with their strollers and all that by the mobile homes to go over to get into Edison or Dollar General or whatever. And at certain times of the day and night, the sun's in your eyes when you're traveling. You can't see this. I saw a guy on a motorcycle driving down the street like this. And some little kid runs out in front, you're not going to see him. So something needs to be done, whether it's a stop sign, maybe around Daniel Street or something, or speed bumps, speed limit sign, maybe in that lot there by the mobile homes or something, but something needs to be done. It's only by God's grace that nobody's gotten hurt or killed. I can tell you because I've watched it in 2 different houses that I've lived in. And I've talked to other residents around there, and they're not happy about it either. So I'm just asking for something to think about it. See if anything can be done.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. I see the police chief's taking notes, so we will get with you. Yeah. Anybody else? If there's nobody else, we'll move on. There is no management. We'll finance, approve disbursements and payroll for December 11th to the 21st, 2017. Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve disbursements and payroll for December 11th through the 21st of 2017, totaling $187,556.75.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Mayor Schomberger?
Yes.
Counselor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Bain?
Yes.
Counselor Baker?
Yes.
Counselor Becker?
Yes.
Counselor Dykes?
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan?
Yes. Okay, second, like to make a motion to approve disbursements and payroll for December 22nd of 2017 through January 8th of 2018 totaling $277,461.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Again, discussion or roll call vote?
Mayor Schomberger?
Yes.
Counselor Anderson?
Yes.
Counselor Bain?
Yes.
Counselor Baker?
Yes.
Counselor Becker?
Yes.
Counselor Dykes?
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan?
Yes.
We're almost at the time to convene a new council, so right before that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Brush, for the honor of serving as your mayor. It has been a privilege and a pleasure. Also, thank you to all the city staff and the employees. They're talented, committed individuals who strive to do their best for the city, and my respect and admiration for them continues to grow. They are really a great guys. And thank you to the council for all the work you do, the work sessions, the long work, and to Monty for all his support and guidance. He really is incredible. He does wonderful things. My priority has always been to help Brush prosper, and I think we've made some progress on that. And that thought has always been topmost in my mind for whatever has come my way, so I hope we've moved things and done good with that. And now, I wish Rick the best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, when he takes over, I know the city's in good hands. I've worked with him for 4 years. I think he'll do great. So, congratulations, Rick.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? Scene die.
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. And vote? Is it just
Voice is okay.
voice vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
Okay.
Welcome to Brush.
For sure, I have a brother named Monty.
Oath of office administered.
Yes.
Are you all gonna stand behind the council chambers?
Okay, so all those, Dana, come on up. And Janine. And Dan. That girl.
Yeah, I think they're gonna, it might be one at a time. You guys are all gonna stand in there.
You're stuck with me? Hey, get your leg off my chin. You can do it all at once. You do it.
Okay, we'll start with our mayor. And I'll let you read this.
Okay.
And hold your right hand.
I, Charles R. Bain, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and of the state of Colorado, the municipal code and the ordinances of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all the duties pertaining to the office of mayor for the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
And then I'll have you sign both of these. You will keep one and you just. Okay. Raise your right hand. And read the oath.
I, Dana Sherman, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and the state of Colorado, the municipal faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of Counselor for Ward 1 in the City of Brush, Colorado to the best of my ability.
Raise your right hand and read the oath of office.
I, Daniel R. Scalisi, do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and of the state of Colorado, the municipal code, and the ordinance of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of Counselor for Ward 2 in the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
Janine? Raise your right hand as you read the oath of office.
I, Janine Anderson, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and the state of Colorado, the municipal code and the ordinances of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of Counselor for Ward 3 in the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
Okay, you guys can sit except you. And we have Monty, Bo, Steve, and myself.
Busy lady.
Raise your right hand and read the oath.
Okay. I, Monty Torres, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and of the state of Colorado, the municipal code, and the ordinance of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of city administrator for the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
I, Robert Chapin, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and of the state of Colorado, the municipal code and the ordinances of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of city attorney for the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
I, Stephen Jones, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States, the state of Colorado, the municipal code, and the ordinances of the city of Brush. I will faithfully perform all the duties pertaining to the office of the court judge of the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
You may have one. I, Andrea Strand, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution, the laws of the United States and of the state of Colorado, the municipal code and the ordinances of the city of Brush, and that I will faithfully perform all of the duties pertaining to the office of city clerk for the city of Brush, Colorado, to the best of my ability.
The view's different from here. Let's start off with a roll call.
Okay. Mayor Bain,
Here.
Counselor Anderson. Here. Counselor Baker.
Here.
Counselor Becker.
Here.
Counselor Quinlan.
Here.
Counselor Scalisi.
Here.
Counselor Sherman.
Here.
Okay, I'd like to start off with really thanking Mayor Schoenberger and Kim Dykes for their service. Chuck spent 8 years on council and 4 years as mayor. Kimberly Dykes spent 8 years on council, and that's a lot of missed family time, a lot of long meetings, a lot of issues that we struggle with back and forth. but I really appreciate the service to your community that you provided, and we thank you greatly for that. We have two new members joining us tonight. Dan Scalisi was elected to represent Ward 2 in Brush. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you.
And Dana Sherman was elected to my old spot from Ward 1. Welcome, Dana.
Thank you.
Next item of business we have on here is the election of Mayor Pro Tem. So I will open the floor for nominations for that office.
I'd like to nominate Dan Scalisi as Mayor Pro Tem.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, we'll move, if there's no other nominations, we'll move to a roll call vote for Dan Scalisi.
Mayor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Baker,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman.
Yes.
That's a conflict. You gotta abstain from that.
Okay, the next order of management we have is designation of official posting places. Andrea.
Yes. By statute, annually, we have to designate one place for posting of our official agenda. And that place that we have selected is outside in the lobby of, or inside the lobby of City Hall. So all of our agendas are posted there. We do try to do a courtesy posting on our website and outside by the night drop box. So you will find agendas there. And we do publish our publications, our hearings and such in the Brush News Tribune or the Fort Morgan Times. So I ask for your approval of Resolution 2018-01.
Okay, do I have a motion for designation of official posting place?
I make a motion to approve the posting places.
Second?
Second. Nope, sorry.
Discussion? Roll call vote?
Mayor Bain,
Yes.
Counselor Anderson,
Yes.
Counselor Baker,
Yes.
Counselor Becker,
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan,
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi,
Yes.
Counselor Sherman.
Yes.
Okay, next we'll move on to staff reports. Joanne?
I have a couple items this evening. The first was, you may recall at the last work session, I discussed the issue of the tricentennial CD and reinvesting that. So just wanted to let council know that I did reinvest that for a 2-year CD. Equitable Savings and Loan did get that bid, and the interest rate was 1.06, so we'll have it there for 2 years. And then the other item I had, I'll give a more extensive report at the next council meeting on how our 5 major funds ended the 2017 year. But for tonight, I just wanted to touch base on the general fund. When we actually did our estimated ending cash balance, we estimated that the ending cash balance for the general fund was going to be $1,478,557, and the actual ending cash balance is $1,616,055, which is $137,498 than what we had estimated. So we're starting off the year in a little bit better shape than we thought we would.
All right, thank you. Police Chief Travis.
Well, welcome everybody. There's new folks on the block, right? Just give you a quick update. Over the last couple of weeks, we've assisted Fort Morgan Police Department with our K-9 and our SWAT team on a barricaded suspect. We got a thank you letter from a lady in town. She provided a donation of $200 towards our community policing, so that was amazing. That's going to go a long ways for the kiddos. End of year tally for calls for service, we had 15,908 calls for service. That's up 1,683 over 2016. And then notably, we had one of our officers attended the funeral for the fallen deputy in Douglas County.
Thank you. One thing I want to mention, and I think it's probably something that we don't say enough, over the last 2 weeks with the officer that we lost in Highlands Ranch, Chief, I would like for you to express to all of your officers just how much we appreciate the dangerous job that they do and the appreciation that this council feels for them. Tyler, marketing.
A couple of items tonight. We're continuing to go forward with the annexation process for the old feedlot, English feedlot, future Brush Agri-Park, as well as prospects that we're in communication with about possibly building on some parcels that will subdivide out there. So we're excited about those potentials as well as the progress of that. And we are starting our hotel feasibility study that council gave the thumbs up to a couple of months ago. This Wednesday, they're going to have a representative here in the community, scoping out the community, to gather the information that they need to find out if another hotel can be sustainable here in Brush. So just a couple of items that we're starting the year off with.
Okay, thank you. City Clerk, Andrea?
Just ask you to look at the calendar in your packet. January 15th, the Planning Commission is meeting, and then the following week we have Monday our City Council meeting, followed by the new council orientation for the work session. That Tuesday is the chamber annual chamber banquet, so let me know if you'd like to attend that. And then Wednesday we have our special speakers coming on the 24th of January to do a presentation on relationships between council and staff. So busy month.
Okay, that's the mayor of Fort Collins
Yes.
coming down? Okay.
Yes.
City Administrator, Ronnie.
Okay, just a couple items. The first one is the fire department building. It's a project we've been waiting for quite a long time. Taking down the old bays, putting up new bays for the fire department. And the design team met last week and they started going through the design process as it's a design build. So essentially what that means is that the team that we have from the city and from the rural district, they'll work together with the contractor to put together the final designs. And they're still hoping for around the March time frame to break ground, or I guess start knocking down the old part of the building and start the process of putting up the new building. Part of that process, we're trying to figure out where we can be most efficient and save a few dollars. And so we looking at how we can not cut corners, but just some of the things that we can do without for the time being to get the building constructed and within budget. We're looking at those, and also we're scheduling a time with XL Energy to come out and look at the building, see what we can do for energy efficiency on the building, and potentially get some rebates back from XL Energy. We'll keep you apprised of the project as we go along. Next item is from the Public Works Department. They're still working on different stormwater projects throughout the community. We've had some really big projects done as far as the downtown, but now we're starting to go around looking at different places around town that flood during the rain events. And most recently on Williams Street, up on the loop of Williams Street, they installed new inlets or catch basins that they're called high volume, high flow inlets, so that they can take more water and get it out of that area. And it's actually still covered with tarps, but on Edmund Street you'll see just one block to the west of Hospital Road, you'll see some concrete work being done there. They're installing more of those around town. And so if there is locations that citizens or council members, if you're aware of some, let us know, because we'll get them on the list. We figure we'll do some more of those this upcoming summer. And it's been about 10 years worth of stormwater projects, and we're not done yet, but at least we've gotten the most damaging areas addressed first. And so let us know if anything else comes up on those. The other thing in regards to the orientation, for new council members and the existing council members, it's all good training for everyone. It's a good refresher, but these speakers, they're very good speakers, a lot of history they have in municipal government, and so we're going to keep bringing some of these out just to help improve and I guess maintain the good relationships we've always had here. But also CML is offering a number of different seminars that you can go to, so please take advantage of those. The cost is very minimal, and most of them are about one-day workshops or half-day workshops, but they're really good, educational, and Andrea will be getting that information out to you as it comes to us. I think most of those start off in February, if I remember right. So, okay, that's all I had.
Okay, council had in their packets also information, since we're convening new council for the new board appointments, and Andrea's gonna go through that list.
I did put a table item because Joanne made us aware of some fireman pensions, so this list is a little different than the one that was in your pack. But we're asking for approval for the mayor's appointment to the Aviation Advisory Board for Chuck Schoenberger for a term of ending January 2020. And then Marlene Baker as council liaison to the East Morgan County Library with a term ending January 2020. The fireman's pension for the fire department is Joe Ginther, Zach Evelyn, Mark Miller, and Mayor Rick Bain. And the Golf Course Advisory Board, Dan Scalisi as City Council Liaison. And to the Historic Preservation Board, continuing Miriam Buckmaster's term ending January 2021. To the Museum Board, Marlene Baker as Council Liaison with a term ending January 2020. Planning and Zoning Commission, Monty Torres with a term ending January 2020. Steve Treadway, term ending January 2023. Vicky Quinlan, term ending January 2020. And Dan Scalisi, term ending January 2022. To the Tree Board, Pamela Crook with a term ending January 2021. And to the Finance Committee for the city, Rick Bain, Vicky Quinlan, Heath Becker, Dana Sherman, Monty Torres, and Joanne Gosling.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve those board appointments from council.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion? Roll call vote.
Mayor Bain.
Yes.
Oops, gotta find my new list. Counselor Anderson.
Yes.
Counselor Baker.
Yes.
Counselor Becker.
Yes.
Counselor Quinlan.
Yes.
Counselor Scalisi.
Yes.
Counselor Sherman.
Yes.
Okay, next item of business, Heath Becker had requested that we go over and review the code of conduct. We're gonna move that item to our work session, so we'll do that in work session. Any other council reports?
Do we want to have any discussions about the middle school? You know, maybe during a work session or something? Do we have any use for the old middle school, or?
I think it's something that we should probably put up on a future work session soon.
Yeah.
So.
At the staff level, we've had a few discussions and we're gathering more information for a council. So it's probably just gonna take another week or so.
Okay.
And then we'll schedule that at some point with council, just to throw a few ideas out there. But if council has any ideas, let us know so we can do the research on that as well.
I mean, I know the old heating, or the heating unit and the air conditioning unit's it's all connected right there to the gym. I mean, it's, you know, it's fairly updated, so, I don't know, there could be some possible uses.
Oh, you're saying small parts and pieces from there? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, let us know.
Okay, any other council reports?
I just have a question about the CML that you and I went to after we were, our first term after the oath. I
Right.
think it was about a month later. I believe they're every other year. Is that right, Andrea?
I think it's in March this year, so I'll have that information for the work session at the next meeting. It's in March this time.
Okay. And I would, Dan has probably been, but I would highly recommend that if you haven't been, yeah, you should probably try to go. It's a full day, it's in Denver, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
And it puts it all on the same page.
Yeah, I highly recommend to new council members any CML courses that you can take. That's how you learn this job, so. Okay, any other reports? The only item I have on here is the council orientation on Monday, January 22nd, and we'll have that after our work session. That's it. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. We'll have a work session about the floodplain, just a couple of minutes.
Karen's not gonna be here for that.
So we're not doing it?